The TD Niagara Jazz Festival presents Niagara Summer Mardi Gras Sessions. Join us online every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we bring New Orleans to the north. Direct from the Crescent City, Dancin' Man 504, Windex Pete, Christopher Butcher of the Heavyweights Brass Band, and more. Featuring mask making, Cajun cooking demos, musical spoons, second line dance steps, cocktail demos, funky fashion tips, and musical clips. Tune in for these free sessions on our Facebook or YouTube channels, Jazz Niagara. Then we'll celebrate Niagara Summer Mardi Gras together this summer on July 18th. It's virtually possible. Just watch and see.
Niagara's Summer Mardi Gras sessions are brought to you in part by TD, the City of St. Catharines, and the town of Niagara on the Lake.
Good evening and welcome. This is the Niagara Summer Mardi Gras Sessions, Part 7, I believe. Yes, this is already Part 7. I can't believe it. We're going to explore second line dance steps with Mr. Percy Ellis, who we're bringing in live from New Orleans. My name is Juliette Dunn, and this is brought to you by the TD Niagara Jazz Festival. And we're getting ready for Mardi Gras, which is coming up very fast, less than 3 weeks away on Saturday, July 18th. At this point, we don't know how many people we can have gather at the secret pop-up location, but what we do know is we can live stream it to the world. So we've got all of these great sessions that you can go back and visit on our YouTube and Facebook channels. Jazz Niagara is our address for all of our socials. And we've done mask making. We've learned about the culture of New Orleans. Tonight we're going to learn some dance steps, learn more about second line. We've learned Cajun cooking, cocktails, and we still have some more of that coming your way as well. So lots of fun. And tonight I have a co-host with me, Mr. Ronnie Liittlejohn from Jazz FM 91. You may know him from Gumbo Kitchen, his show that's every Friday night. So let me bring in Ronnie. And there he is, looking very Mardi Gras. Hey, Ronnie.
How are you, Juliette? Thanks for having me.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Thanks for coming.
I got my Mardi Gras mask on. I stole it from my daughter. I'm ready to go.
Fantastic. I'm going to go grab mine in a second from the other room. Yeah, I love it. I wore purple, see? I got my Mardi Gras colors
Very
on.
good. This is fantastic, by the way. Good. Thanks for doing what you do, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Our pleasure. So much fun. And so nice to have you as co-host. This is great. Now you're in front of the camera because it's usually just your voice we hear.
Yeah, and people are probably watching going, I thought he was taller.
Right? I remember before I worked at Jazz FM and I listened to all the radio hosts, I had totally different images in my head of what they look like.
Yeah, that's the beauty of radio. That's the beauty. I can look however you want me to look, but I can't fake this.
You're right. You look marvelous. You look marvelous. So tell us a little bit about your show.
Well, it's called the Gumbo Kitchen. It's on Jazz FM 91. It's Friday nights, 9 till 1 o'clock in the morning. It was till midnight, but we extended it an extra hour because we figured in keeping with the whole, people aren't ready to go to bed. You know what I mean? At midnight. So I play everything New Orleans. You know what I mean? I've got 4 hours. So I do second line brass bands. I play the Mardi Gras Indians. I play traditional New Orleans jazz. I play some gospel, New Orleans soul and rhythm and blues. Everything, and not just from New Orleans, but Louisiana and from the surrounding area. As long as it's greasy and funky, you'll hear it in the Gumbo Kitchen.
Nice. And how long have you been with Jazz FM 91?
It's been about 1.5 years.
Right.
So not that long. So it's just, I love it. And I've come in touch with so many listeners from not just Toronto, but, Niagara and all over the world because, it's online. I got an email last week from Mexico. So
oh, fantastic.
It's all over. It's better than just radio because it's all over the world because of the internet is what you're doing right now, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you've been to New Orleans a couple of times yourself, at least?
Yeah, maybe 20 or 25 times.
Oh,
maybe not 25, but maybe 20, about 20. Before Katrina and after. There was a time when I was going, before I was a father, my wife and I go down twice a year.
Wow.
Whenever I could. You know what I mean? I just love it.
Yeah.
It's a magical town. Magical.
It really is. Well, my husband Peter Shea, who we're going to also bring on into the stream here,
Yeah.
the co-creator of the Jazz Festival.
Hey.
Here's Peter. Hey.
There he is.
Hey
I'm
guys,
gonna
how
split
are
the
you?
screen up like that. There we go.
Hey,
That's
Ronnie.
excellent.
Good
So,
to
hey,
see
Peter,
you.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. Very good,
Excellent,
thank you.
excellent. Tell us your experience with. I know we went together once last year, my first time. But when was your
Yeah.
first time in New Orleans?
My first time in New Orleans is about 2001, going back roughly 20 years ago, and I was working on a cruise ship there, and it had always been my dream to go down to New Orleans. And as it turned out, I landed a contract on a ship based out of New Orleans for about 4 months. So I got a taste for New Orleans, and
Very nice.
and then I came back with you actually again just for your 50th birthday last year.
Yeah.
So I got to come back and revisit the place that I fell in love with 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really, really fantastic. So before we bring on our special guest, we do have a couple of bands that, several bands, many bands that we're featuring for our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras on July 18th. And just so everyone knows, the day is going to start at 1 o'clock. We're going to have a parade. Just the band, nobody, of course, because we're being very safe with COVID, but a parade that's going to be going through different neighborhoods. And then you can stream that. And then we're hoping to also live stream a parade from New Orleans as well. So that'll be between 1 and 5 p.m. And then all of the bands will start from 5 p.m. And one of the bands is the Red Hot Ramble. And we've got a couple of clips. So I'm going to play one of the clips of Roberta Hunt's Red Hot Ramble band before we bring on our special guest.
good.
In one word, Big Smoke Brass is.
Oops, that's the wrong one. Oh, wait a second. They're also playing, but that's not
They're
the one I
also
wanted to play. Nothing like live. Give me
No,
a second here.
you got it.
And here we go.
I'll see you there at the foot of Canal Street. What will you wear at the foot of Canal Street? Will the band be playing at the foot of Canal Street? Will the people be singing at the foot of Canal Street? 'Cause your father lies, yeah, does your mother pray? Hey there, it's my golden crown down. I'm gonna lay all my burdens down. Woo, I'm moving up on higher ground at the foot of Canal Street.
Ah.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Getting
that was-
very excited for this Niagara's Summer
Yeah.
Mardi Gras. And to help us get our feet all limbered up, let's bring on our special guest for this evening. His name is Percy Ellis, and he's a real fixture down there in the Crescent City, and you'll often find him performing with the Uptown Jazz Orchestra. So I'd like to bring him in on the feed here. There he is.
There he
Percy,
is.
how are you this evening?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. I'm going to remove these other guys so we can get you. Oh, wait, just a second. We can go like this, and I think we can still hear everybody. There we go. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Percy Ellis. I've been a Grand Marshal for 38 years. And born and raised in New Orleans, traveled throughout the world with various brass bands performing as a Grand Marshal.
So what is a Grand Marshal?
A Grand Marshal basically he leads the band. It started with the funeral processions way back in the day, and he's basically the caller of the people. What he does is when the hearse is in the middle of the street, and then the family is behind them, then is the Grand Marshal. And as the funeral procession proceeds down the street, the brass band is behind the Grand Marshal. And behind that, the people fall in line, which is called the second line.
Okay, so it originated from funerals then, second
Yes.
line. So if
Yes.
you don't want to be in the first line because you're in the coffin? Is that right?
Yeah, you don't want to be in the first line.
Right. So the second line is the parade. So did you say 30 years or 38 years?
38 years.
That's what I thought. 38 years. And so does the Grand Marshal is the only one that wears the sash that you're wearing there?
Yes, because what it is, he represents the band. And
Right.
he's the caller of the people, and his this distinguished outfit lets you know that he's leading the funeral procession.
Gotcha. And so would you have special things on your sash? Depending, each marshal would have something different?
Well, the sash is basically designed on the style of the Grand Marshals. Different Grand Marshals have different style. Like my style is basically traditional.
Nice. Can you stand up for us? Let me see. I'm just gonna. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Are gloves also a part of the outfit always, or is that just your style?
It's just my style, but basically it just started with the gloves.
It started with the gloves.
Yeah, it's part of the total outfit of the alliance, which the Grand Marshal represents. It's from the shoes, the gloves, the hat, the umbrella,
The umbrella
and the satchel. It's just the distinguished outfit of the Grand Marshal,
of the Grand Marshal.
and the whistle.
And the whistle as well. Now the umbrella, who decorates the umbrella?
Well, my wife does mine.
Nice. Nice. I'm gonna bring in the guys. Let me just see if they have some questions as well. Ronnie Liittlejohn and Peter Shea. Any questions for Percy about his outfit, about second line, and have you seen a second line parade in New Orleans?
Oh, I've had the good fortune of being involved in a couple. You can hear me okay, right? Julian?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a gorgeous outfit, by the way. And for anyone who has never been involved in a second line, I'll just tell you a little story. I went to New Orleans with donors of Jazz FM 91, and it was raining for 2 days, solid. So we weren't out, we weren't going anywhere. We had to find something to do in New Orleans that involved indoor activities, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Well,
Gotcha.
nobody got to explore the city, and then one day the rain stopped, the sun came through the clouds, and down the street I could hear the rumbling of tubas, a bass drum, and trumpets. And I said to all our guests, I said, you need to get out there because you're never going to see anything like this again. And the second line came, and people looked at our guests, and they said, join in.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know. We're from Toronto. You know how polite we are. We don't want to.
Yeah.
So I said, get in there, man. So we went on a second line parade for about 4 or 5 blocks, and
Nice.
everybody just drops exactly everything they're doing, man. And it's one of those moments that people were looking at me almost with tears in their eyes, saying, this is just absolutely so beautiful.
Yes.
It's quite a tradition.
So special. Peter,
special.
you've got a couple of experiences with second line.
Yeah, I do, and actually the most recent one being last year when we were in New Orleans visiting with your whole family celebrating your 50th birthday. By the way, can you believe that this lady's 50 years old? I cannot believe the genes are strong in your family, my love.
You're very
but-
sweet. You're very sweet. Thanks,
I
Mom
was-
and Dad.
I couldn't believe how they took me into their home. Like we went to a second line experience, and they brought us into their backyard, and they gave us beer and food, and they said, well, if you all wanted to sit here and relax and chill until the second line shows up, and we just had a magical experience, and it's New Orleans music is very near and dear to my heart. So that sorry, can you go with Doctor? Just 1 second, honey.
Oh yeah. Just a second.
Technical difficulty. Can you, yeah, please.
Yeah. Whoopsies. Oh, there we go. So let me finish. I know what the story Peter was talking about is that we were in a neighborhood, and it was Chris Butcher, who's our correspondent down there in New Orleans, who told us how to get to the address for this parade. I believe it was a Super Sunday, and it was the Pigeon Toe Steppers. Would that be right, Percy? Does that ring a bell?
The Pigeon Town Steppers.
Pigeon Town Steppers. Yeah, and it was their 25th anniversary. This was last April, and so that was on one Sunday, but it's every Sunday during a certain season, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
And the Pigeon Town Steppers normally parade on Easter Sunday. That happens to be the neighborhood in which I grew up in.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Were you born and raised in New Orleans?
Yes.
Wow. So what neighborhood would that be?
I was in the 17th ward of the New Orleans area, in Carrollton.
Excellent. And so how often, when we're not in shutdown, when it's not the COVID situation, in a regular pre-COVID world, how often would you be leading a parade?
2 to 3 times a week.
Wow. And it would mainly be for locals, or I know a lot of tourists come down and they hire second line parades for weddings and things like that. Would you do a bit of both, or?
Yes, I do mostly conventions, weddings, festivals, international festivals, and things of that sort.
So so obviously for you right now, there's no work down there in New Orleans, like most of the musicians everywhere.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's a tough time. Are things opening up a little bit down there, or?
No, not really.
Wow. So everyone, we did have a slide at the beginning of the show, and as you know, it's really hard for artists, especially artists, because we're the ones that will be able to do festivals and things. That'll be the last thing that will open up again. So we do have a link at the end of the show that Bonnie will put up. So if you'd like to tip the artists that you hear and see today, that would be really great. So tell us a little bit about the dance steps, Percy.
Well, the dance steps are basically moves that you feel from the band. The music goes through the body, through the soul, and as the band coming out the street, you get up.
Okay.
Julia, can you switch to Bryce's
Oh
camera?
yes, yeah, I will.
You switch to Bryce's, we'll
I'll
have a
switch
better
to
angle.
Bryce's, yeah, and I'm gonna remove. Okay. Oh no, sorry. And there we go. So that's get another view here. Oh, you know what? Just a second. I don't think we can hear Chris, so I'm gonna do this.
Keep us up.
Yeah, keep you guys up and go full screen. There we go. So I can still. Can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Excellent. So are you going to be playing some music there, Chris, for Percy to do a demo for us?
We could, yeah.
Or was that
is
the
there-
plan, or not?
Is there a tune?
We could.
Is there a tune of Dr. Bryce Miller tune or something we could play, or maybe?
Let's pull up I'm So New Orleans.
Yes.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's a
perfect.
great idea. You should
Perfect.
be able to hear this.
Okay, great.
Just give us 1 second
Yeah.
here to pull it up.
And Percy, so I'm sure, as you were saying, each marshal has their own style with the clothing. Same with the dance moves, I'd imagine. It's quite personalized.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. And is it something you learn, or you just pick, it's in the blood, or do you learn it from an...
It's the spirit of New Orleans. It just flows through the body.
Oh, yeah. I love it. So it's 38 years.
Yeah.
So while they're pulling that up, in fact, I might have, let me just see here. I thought I had Bonnie. I don't know if you can hear me. Could you play, if Bonnie wants to pull up the parade marshal video that we had on YouTube, Bonnie, if you can hear me. Is that an option while they're pulling up their sound? I'm going to just play this video while Bonnie takes a peek.
of the morning, when the sun begins to shine. Oh, they were telling one another, yeah, today will be a good day. I'm gonna make it that way. She put the voodoo on you. She put the voodoo on you. She put the voodoo on you. Gonna lay it on you.
Oh, hey. Here we go.
Well, goodbye, Joe. Me got
Nice.
go, me oh my. Me got go and Popey roll down the bayou. My bones, this one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Hey, Jambalaya, Crawfish pie, hey, filet gumbo. For tonight, I'm gonna see Mama share a meal. A big guitar, filled with jaw, and big gale. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Itty-bitty-do, mountain no, things are buzzing. Then folks come to see me by a dozen. Dressed in style, from all wild, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Hey, jambalaya, the crawfish pie, and filet gumbo.
Wow, I'm going to bring back Ronnie Liittlejohn. Hey, Ronnie.
Hello there.
And I'm going to bring back Percy. Where is he? Hey, did you see the parade marshal there?
Oh yeah, man, that was magic.
The fancy footsteps.
That's a great way. Something that people don't realize until I spoke with Ben Jaffe of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. I mean, it's fun. It looks like fun, but it's also really hard work. I mean,
absolutely.
And the weather in New Orleans is hot on
It's
a good
balmy.
day.
Yeah.
Now you imagine carrying a sousaphone around town for I don't know how. Here's a question: how long is the second line usually last for? Is it like an hour or on average?
Percy, yeah. Oh wait, you know what? I think let me just add. I know why we can't hear. Just a second. I've got Percy
There we
there.
go.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, Percy, how long is the average second line?
About 4 hours.
Oh my God!
You have to be in shape.
Well,
Yeah.
now
Wow.
I saw when they were the one I was
4
that
hours.
came by. A lot of people were pulling water carts, right? Because you really need that water and you need to hydrate along the way.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. So did we have some music pulled up there, Chris?
We do, yeah. We got a track from Delfeayo Marsalis and the Uptown Jazz Orchestra's most recent release, Jazz Party. And this is a
Excellent.
song featuring the great Dr. Bryce Miller here.
Yes.
On So New Orleans. So if I hit it here.
Oh yeah. You got that. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, maybe
Percy.
Percy can.
Oh yeah.
We like syncopated beats with uptown grooves. When you hear that big bass drum, yeah, you can't help but move. I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
New Orleans, from the West Bank to the East. No matter where you live, drop that beat, we buck jump in the street.
Oh, here we go.
I'm so New Orleans, Dean Petty is how we roll. Y'all Saints got robbed, so we had us a boycott bowl.
Oh.
I'm so New Orleans, I be pretty as wild child And when you hear this uptown funk, you know we coming to slay. I'm so New Orleans. I remember living in the ninth ward. It meant that you was poor. But nah, that's where all the new hippies wanna go. I'm so New Orleans. Buddy Golden Blues in the birthplace of jazz. Our music be so funky, make you shake your thing, shake it fast. I'm so New Orleans. I remember crawfish was $1.27 a pound. Shopping at the Circle Food store, that's how our folks used to get down. I'm so New Orleans, we brag so hard, tickle all the teeth in your mouth. Bang, give them a little taste, so they know just what I'm talking about. Come on. I know everything that makes my city special is black. You can change what you want, but nah, you can't change that. I'm so New Orleans, I remember when rent was $500. But in this new Orleans, yeah, $2,500 if you got good luck. I'm so New Orleans, it makes me proud that Louis Armstrong was a Zulu king. That let me know from an early age, I could do just about anything. I'm so New Orleans, man, this music here, it done changed my life. I love my city, love my culture. Mr. Hamp in them purple nights. I'm so New Orleans. You know we used to have parades out in the east. Ice skating at the plaza, Sunday skate country, the Zeph at Punch Train Beach. I'm so New Orleans. Man, I really miss those lemon Cuban pies. Yeah, come smoke my peace pipe. It'll put some tears up in your eyes. I'm so New Orleans. I remember back when the Honorable Dutch Moriel was our mayor. Our city's seen some hard times, but we blessed with love and prayer. I'm so New Orleans, but Charity Hospital ain't where I was born. Yeah, Big Daddy's grown, 6'2" chocolate. Let me blow some of this horn. About Fauché marching through the schoolhouse door. Other skating ring in the ninth wall, the one with those hardwood floors. I'm so New Orleans, from jazz fest to second line parades. Yeah, strike up the band, cause we'll find a reason to party every day. I'm so New Orleans, 12 inches, extra butter. Yeah, I'm talking about a shrimp po' boy. Girl, get your mind out the gutter. I'm so New Orleans, red beans on Mondays, and daiquiris to go. This here be them African grooves. Yeah, stump your feet on the floor. I'm so New Orleans, we celebrate life out here in these streets. You can do what you want, roll with it, baby. Shake that thing for me. I'm so New Orleans, I like to make it do just what it do. And I'm swinging with the Uptown Jazz Orchestra, baby, bringing that party to you.
Get that man a glass of water.
Can I grab him a beer? Is that all right?
Oh my, yeah. What beer for sure?
Yeah, I think he wants a beer.
Hello.
Yeah, I think he needs a frosty one. Yeah, he's earned it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Percy, oh my gosh. Okay, my thoughts are like, okay, as soon as that border opens, we got to get you up here and lead us in a parade.
Man, yeah.
Number
For
one.
sure.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. And it won't be quite as hot up here. Although last year, our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras was probably the hottest day here in Ontario. It was very balmy. But so I don't know, what I don't understand is how you can do that for 4 hours straight. Now, do you get breaks along the way?
Yeah, you get breaks. You get
Yeah.
breaks. You parade about 30 minutes, then you get a break for about 10, 15, and you're right back at it.
Wow. So
You
when
have to be in shape.
you do have to be
Yeah.
in shape. You don't need to go to a gym for sure.
Man, you're looking good. You're
Wow.
like you get
59 years old.
Oh, hey,
Wow.
looking really good. Excellent.
Years have been kind to you, my friend.
Wow. And so when you're leading that parade, I mean, I've only got the one experience, but pretty much it was mainly locals. It wasn't tourists. It was like the real deal. And everybody was dancing. It's part of the culture, right? You just grow
Yes.
up with that.
Yes, when you hear the band coming down the street, the grand marshal, the caller people calling all you fall in the second line, and you roll with it.
You roll with it. So do you, when you fall into that second line, do you just go as long as you can and drop out? Or like there's no rules? Are there rules like you have to stay all the way to the end? Or how does that work?
No, you just go as long as you can go. Some make it to the end, some don't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, we really do hope that things open up soon so we can have lots of parades and fun times. I don't know if they'd be able to the social distance parade, but it would be nice, you know, just to have that joy of dancing and celebration again.
I think they're gonna have a serious second line when this is over. You know.
Oh yeah, the big one.
Julia,
one.
can I ask Percy a question?
Sure.
Absolutely. Do you want to go on screen, Chris, or?
You don't need to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
me, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Percy, what you mentioned the neighborhood you grew up in. Do you have a specific second line in the second line schedule that you personally look forward to? Is like your first one or the one you grew up with? Is it like to you what stands out on the calendar as a very important date for you personally?
November, the New Orleans men bug jumpers. I grew up watching those guys, and that's where I mimic most of my steps from. And that's always at the end of November. It's just basically the last second line of the year.
And where do the buck jumpers roll? Where is
Uptown in the area in which I grew up in the 17th ward.
Do you have a first memory of? Is it kind of a blur of like there were so many second lines around you growing up, or is it something that stands out in your memory as like an important first one that you could remember? I don't know, a family related thing or a neighborhood related thing that stands out as a very important thing where you found out that this was something real special. Or
When I was in elementary school, Mahalia Jackson's funeral passed down Carrollton Avenue, and they allowed us to go to the window and watch it go by. And that's when I realized that was something I really wanted to be a part of.
Wow.
Were you allowed to step out of school? Did you ever step out of school for a second? You be honest here. You ever step? You know, I heard rumors. Was it Benny Jones? I mean, I heard that people second line used to go by, and that was it. No.
Well, maybe once or twice. Yeah.
Wow. So, whoopsies, just a second. I lost, just a second. I'm gonna bring back Ronnie Liittlejohn there. There we are. Oh, that's a new view. That's quite nice. Look at all those colors. Look at all those colors. So, Percy, the shoes. I was looking at the shoes. Is there a story about your shoes?
Well, I just like to have jazzy, spiffy shoes and keep them nice, clean, and shiny. When I first started with a band named Doc Paul and Brass Band, and Doc used to say, the first thing they're going to look at is your feet. So make sure your shoes are shiny and tight.
Shiny and tight. So how's that? Did you ever get to the end of a second line and you're just like, oh, I can't take one more step, possibly?
No, I don't wear cheap shoes.
Oh, there you go. They're tight. Touché. Nice, nice. And then do you always have an umbrella? Would the parade marshal always have an umbrella?
Yeah, basically. Some grand marshals have two fans, but I'm more the traditional old school grand marshal. And like on the funeral, I'm going to wear black and white. But different occasions, like if a group call for a convention and they say, well, hey, we're going to have red, I'll just come in whatever different colors to make the pictures more colorful.
Oh, nice.
So I have several outfits and several satchels and several umbrellas.
Yeah, amazing. And now a lot of people have hankies. Like the people who are following. Is that just a practical thing?
Just to wipe your face.
It's just to wipe your face.
And then, and down here, most people take the handkerchief and they wave them in the air. When the ones who don't have an umbrella, they wave in the air as they follow the second line. But it basically was to wipe your face as well as the umbrella that we parade whether it rain or shine.
Right, right. And then the tradition of throwing beads, is that more for the tourists, or is that something that happens in a traditional second line?
Well, that's more for the tourists.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. What other stories do you have about favorite second line experiences, or?
But some of my favorite was me and Dr. Miller. We played for Shakespeare's 400th anniversary of his death in Washington D.C. on Capitol Hill.
Wow.
And that was very special. And I also performed with the Branford Marsalis Quartet, and I'm a regular with the Delfeayo Marsalis, the Uptown Jazz Orchestra. And to be able to play with such great musicians is an honor to be chosen to lead those bands.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you usually play or perform, excuse me. You were saying about 3 or 4 times a week in a regular, like not shut down world.
Yes.
Wow. And before the borders were open, were you traveling quite a bit, or just across America? Did you ever overseas with the bands?
I got back home the night before Mardi Gras from Croatia. I did the Croatian Mardi Gras, and I've also did several Mardi Gras and several festivals around the world: Europe, Spain, Italy, France, Turkey, in different areas.
Wow, so we're not the only ones that wanted to do a Mardi Gras here in Niagara. Everybody's doing it. So, okay, so out of the ones, the overseas Mardi Gras, out of all of those different countries, which one would you say threw the best party?
The ones in New Orleans.
See, we can try, but it's just not gonna. Oh my gosh!
You're coming down here, right, Juliet?
Oh yeah, as soon as I can, I want to get back down there to New Orleans.
I got a question. Chris Butcher, are you there, brother?
I'm here. I hear you.
You good, man? Everything's good?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad, that Percy and Bryce can come over here and that we can do this. I'm good,
Now that song that you just played that Bryce was dancing to, that was amazing, man. How do I get a copy of that to play on my show on Jazz FM?
So I love that. That was Percy dancing through that, but it was Bryce who, if he stood in front, he's behind the camera. He's manning the camera right now.
Yeah.
But we got Dr. Bryce Miller behind the camera, and he's singing on that tune.
Yeah.
So that is off a disc by Delfeayo Marsalis and the Uptown Jazz Orchestra. The name of the disc is Jazz Party. I think you could tune into Gumbo Kitchen probably this coming Friday and probably hear it. Is that true, Ronnie?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Now, Chris sends me. He's your correspondent, but he's also mine as well a little bit.
Nice.
And Chris sent me a tune recently by Herlin Riley. This is a song that should be taken over the world. It's called "Get Back." And Chris, who's in that? Herlin Riley, Shannon Powell, and who else is in that?
And
one of them
Jason Marsalis. It's the New Orleans Groove Masters. And I think you can catch that on Ronnie Liittlejohn's show every week. He promised me he's going to play it every week until COVID's over, I think.
Yeah, it's coming on this Friday, man. It's going to be on this Friday. And it's such a cool tune. And it's funny, too, because the song starts, boom, boom, get back. And you think, okay, it's a funk tune, get back. And they go, give me 6 feet. Give me 6 feet.
Oh, that's good. That's clever.
And they just go on and they're talking about, give me 6 feet. And then what's the chorus? Chris goes, Corona. Get up on you.
Exactly.
It's funny, but it's true, and it's funky as hell.
So that tune, Jazz Party, I mean, you should tune into Ronnie Liittlejohn's show every week, but if you can't, that's available online. You just look up Jazz Party Delfeayo Marsalis. But Juliet, I've heard rumors about a performance of the Uptown Jazz Orchestra on, I think you should talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're just joining us, we're promoting and leading up to and getting excited about our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras on Saturday, July 18th. And we don't have the schedule up yet, but we've just confirmed some of the final bands, and our big headliner is Delfeayo Marsalis' Uptown Jazz Orchestra.
Wow.
17-piece big band, 17-piece band. Am I correct?
At least,
Yeah,
I think you might have gotten more than you might have even got a 20-piece or I'm not sure. We were in the studio yesterday at Esplanade, the biggest studio in the state of Louisiana.
Wow.
With a film crew and an engineer from one of the great engineers of this music, Patrick Smith.
Wow.
And we did it, and there were saxophone players growing on trees. There was 7. There was singers. So I think you got more than it. I'd have to count it out, but I think you got more, and you're going to get Bryce Miller singing "I'm So New Orleans."
Yeah.
I can't
live,
believe it.
only on Niagara Jazz, so you can tune in there. But yeah, check out the disc. It's on all the places you'd find it: Spotify and iTunes.
Oh, fantastic. We're so excited. I mean, for us, obviously it's challenging times for everybody with COVID, but we've tried to make the most of it, and being able to do this with if those who are tuning in who don't know who the voice off camera is, it's Christopher Butcher from the Heavyweights Brass Band. And when we decided, let's do something that keeps people entertained, and during COVID, we decided to do these sessions leading up to our event, which we didn't know if we could have an event, so we've decided to live stream it. So in a weird way, all of these great relationships and exciting things are coming out of COVID, because for us to learn about the culture of New Orleans and learn more about jazz, being here up in Canada is just so special. And I think Peter's just stepped out. I can't see Peter behind the stream there, but it was actually Peter Shea's idea years ago when we first started the festival back in 2014. He always said, Niagara could be New Orleans of the North. Now, at that time, I'd never been to New Orleans, but he had, and he knew what the vibe was like and how special it was. And of course, we love jazz. And when it was last year, when I was writing grants, trying to get some funding, I thought, well, a new idea would be to try and do something that relates to New Orleans coming to the north. And we came up with Niagara Summer Mardi Gras. And last year we did it live, of course, at the Port Dalhousie Grandstand. And then this year we're in lockdown. So it's going to be live streamed, but we get to pull in New Orleans and some New Orleans style bands that are up here in Canada to have this great celebration. So thanks, Chris, again for hooking us up with the real deal in New Orleans.
Hey, well, thank you for...
Hey, Chris.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I got 2 Heavyweights Brass Band songs coming up Friday night too, brother.
Cool.
Perfect.
2, baby, 2.
Speaking of Heavyweights Brass Band, I'm going to play a track from the Heavyweights Brass Band, and then we're going to come back and talk some more with Mr. Percy Ellis. So this one, Chris will tell us about this song afterwards, so let me pop it up for you. That was Christopher Butcher and the Heavyweights Brass Band. I'm going to bring back our co-host this evening, Ronnie Liittlejohn, and our special guest, Mr. Percy Ellis. Percy, so are you going to be dancing with the Uptown Jazz Orchestra for our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Well, we'll see. And like I said, we'd love to get you up here once that border is open. It would be fantastic. I have a last question for you.
Juliet, sorry, just one thing. We would love to show the video before we go. In Jackson Square, so maybe we can, when we wrap up, we can.
We can wrap up with that video. Perfect. And then just before that, I was just wondering, because I loved watching Percy dance earlier. Do you have any signature moves like that are your special ones, or do you have names for any of your moves?
Not really. The music from the band, it just flows through my soul, and I just go with the flow.
Go with the flow. So every time's a different experience then.
Yes, depends on the music, depends on the way I move. If the music is grooving, I'm grooving.
I love it. And have you ever been in one and you're just like, I can't take another step, or have you always persevered to the end?
Always persevere to the end.
That's amazing. So that's the music that's taking you there.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. Well, I know that Christopher's going to bring up a video, but Ronnie Liittlejohn, did you have any more questions for Mr. Ellis?
No, I just want to say what a thrill it is here up at the North Pole, basically, in Innisville, Ontario, my friend. To watch you dance, man, a thing of beauty. And Chris, it's so good to hear your voice, man. I love you keeping me updated on everything you're doing and stuff. And Juliet, on behalf of everyone, thank you for what you do and you bring to the community, because I don't know how you stay so organized and,
Wow.
and I don't know how you do it. I really don't. So I'm
Thank
really
you.
looking forward to July the 18th. It's going to be a party.
It's going to be a
Be
party.
fantastic.
Yeah, it is. And in fact, I don't know if I mentioned that, but Ronnie Liittlejohn was our MC for our first annual Niagara Summer Mardi Gras last summer. And he'll be our MC this summer as well. So at this point, so right now in Ontario, we're only allowed to have 10 people gather. So, oh, I think I got an echo there, but that's okay. If we have 10 people gather, it'll be Peter and I, Ronnie Liittlejohn, and the band. So when the bands come, the Canadian bands come, they'll come one at a time. They'll be socially distanced on the stage. And then we will live stream it, and we'll go back and forth between Canada and live streaming in New Orleans. If we're allowed 25 people, we'll be selling 12 tickets because we have to have the band and the staff. And then we're just kind of working with what we get. So whatever happens, we're going to have an event. Basically, look at it this way. Either it's kind of like a TV show with or without a studio audience. So at this point, there's going to be no studio audience, but there'll be the audience out there. And then hopefully we'll have a small studio audience as well. But we're going to have fun no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
No matter what. Oh, here we go. I think Chris has got a
You want
video
us to
for
play
us.
this video for y'all?
Yes. And Peter Shea's waving. Wait, he's going to, just before the video.
Hey,
there
guys.
we go. We lost Peter earlier. There he is. He's
I
back.
lost the internet. Sorry, I lost the connection, so I had to go back
No
out and
worries.
back on again.
I think it's just a miracle we can do this, all from these
Amazing.
different locations. It's great,
Yeah.
and as far away as New Orleans,
Yeah.
Peter, did you have any questions for Mr. Percy Ellis about dance moves and leading the parade and being a marshal?
You caught me off guard. Well, hold on.
No worries, no worries.
I
know.
probably got a million questions. But
Yeah, I know. What about, or any other thoughts about New Orleans and the music from your end, Peter?
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting a question so soon.
No, that's okay. No worries. So Chris has a video, and I think I'm looking at the time, so we will wrap up with the video. So Chris Butcher, tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, and I'm pulling up your screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go, everybody. Oh, look, we can stay on the side. We can, and we can hear it too.
Wow.
I think, yeah. Not very loud, but let me I'm going to remove our sound.
No.
Ah. Wow, thank you. There's a bit of bittersweet when you see the streets of New Orleans empty like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets you right here. It really does. Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing. It was a beautiful video and the dancing, but we do want to see the people out as well. But what's great is, people can celebrate in their community and celebrate at home, close to their loved ones and the ones that they live next to, until we meet again.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Percy Ellis. That was Percy Ellis, everybody, and we do hope to bring him up to Canada one time to show us how it's really done.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and a big thanks to Butcher Studios and Christopher Butcher and Dr. Bryce Miller helping make all of this possible. We're gonna leave you with a couple of other videos of some of the artists that will be coming up in our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras next week. Tune in, check out our socials at Jazz Niagara for the culinary episode that we will have next week, and then the last week for our Niagara Summer Mardi Gras sessions we have. Oh, who do we have now? Christopher Butcher, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Because I know it wasn't Josh Daly, and now my new guy, and my head's...
So in 2 weeks from today, that's
Yeah.
July 14th, we have the great Davis Rogan.
Davis Rogan, thank
who,
you.
is going to be making a cocktail. He's going to be playing a song at the piano.
Yes.
And Davis is a little bit of a... Davis is quite the character. You got anything to say there, Bryce?
I like it. I just heard Dr. Bryce's his laugh. Oh boy, I can't wait.
He's a legend, at least in his own mind. So we're gonna have Davis Rogan up, sharing a song and sharing some music from just a couple blocks around.
Oh, lost Chris. Okay, that's funny. I lost audio. I don't. Oh. Okay, so Davis Rogan. Okay, perfect. Well, thanks again, everyone. I'm just gonna play us out with a couple of clips. Stay safe. This Friday we have Miles Black Duo from Vancouver and Aline Holmesy the next day. So we've got some great live jazz coming up this weekend. And enjoy the weather if it's nice where you are. And we'll see you very soon. Thanks again, Percy Ellis.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And I'll come and see you backstage in just a sec. That was Niagara Summer Mardi Gras Sessions Part 7. There are 9 parts, and we started a couple of months ago, and you can find them all on our socials, so Facebook and YouTube, Jazz Niagara. And then you can watch and learn about the culture of New Orleans, and then get ready in your homes and in your communities, do watch parties, and then join in Saturday, July 18th. We'll be live streaming from 1 p.m. until 11 p.m. with Omni Media helping us out so that Bonnie and I don't have to be on the switchboard there. And thanks for joining us once again, and we'll see you on Friday. Here's another little clip featuring Percy Ellis.